So this morning, they will super love you. This morning I was reading, I haven't been on Instagram for months, I think. And so for some reason I got on this morning. It was kind of scrolling through and it was like, Heavenly Father knew that I was going to be on. And so he sent me all these different things. And one of them was this kind of long video, but it really struck to my heart. And it was about saying, it was this older gentleman, and he was talking about his wife and how he watched her for years. And when they first started having kids, the first kid, she was singing songs to her baby. And then after the second was born, she kind of stopped singing. And in fact, she would snap at the smallest thing, like something would drop and she'd snap at it. And she'd just get really bitey and just, and just seemed to lose her temper super fast with her kids. And her husband just thought, I need to give her space and give her, I'm not saying to support her. And I can't summarize it accurately, but basically fast forward through this video, it just talks about how this woman was kind of closed off from her kids, and her kids started cleaning up after themselves because they were afraid of the anger triggers and things that were going to happen. And so anyway, so this woman kind of distanced herself from her family because she was so tied up with whatever, doesn't clarify on that. And then he talks about how his daughter had her first baby and she would be singing happy. And then her second one came and her daughter called her dad, his daughter called him and said, I'm turning into mom and I don't want that. And the person who's speaking originally, the grandfather, father, whatever, he said, and then her husband did something I didn't do. Instead of stepping away, he saw her in this moment, and he forwarded her to this quiz, because this is all this thing, this quiz. I was waiting for the bomb to drop on that. But yeah, so it's about this spiel to go take this 5-minute quiz, sign up for this program. I researched it. It's like AI bot possible. Some people enjoyed it. Some people didn't, yada, yada. But I got kind of mad. And I'm like going back to this story because I was crying through this whole video because that's me. Like I became that mom who was always snapping and my kids didn't conform or do something. It was horrible. And something in the article kind of suggested that it was because the mom was in survival mode, that her basic needs weren't being met and she was just surviving. And I thought that could be true. But my take-home message and what I wanted to share is that to be seen and to be recognized and validated as a person, whatever we're doing, is very important. And often we get to have that when we're in the workforce or whatever, and sometimes we don't, and I get that. The one thing it's hard to do as a parent, whether it's, I don't understand fathers and their dynamics, so I don't want to pretend to go there. But with mothers, I know that recently, I've been thinking about this a lot. I've read this really great book called The Human Mother by Claudia. I think she's writing under a different name. It's on Amazon, but it's called The Human Mother. It's like breaking through the expectations of toxic motherhood or something. And I've just been thinking about motherhood and why I'm a mother and what choices I make as a mom. And do I want to keep making those choices? Because in the last couple of years, through lots of therapy and God-led experiences, I've really come to finally love myself. Anyway, so that's all put aside though for now, because what I'm talking about now is I'm at this place where I am healthier and I'm recognizing I have needs and I'm going to meet those needs. And as I looked through the lens of this video, I saw myself as a young mother, and I feel like so often as a mom, we pour ourselves into these little beings for so many different reasons, like whether we want to have love back, whether we want to be validated as a human being, or if we are like the nicest, kindest mother, then finally someone will recognize and say, oh my goodness, you're doing such a great job. Or, oh, you are very fulfilled as a person. You've reached what you want to become, or some kind of validation. I know what it is, but we can sometimes get locked into this cycle of expectations of what we're getting out of the situation or what we should be getting out of the situation. And I wanted to go back to this young mom, both in these videos and to myself, and say, I'm here and I want to see you and recognize what you're doing now. And you don't have to do these things for these people. What you can do is what you want to do. And they'll be okay if you don't do everything perfect. They'll be okay if you don't, and they'll be okay if they don't learn how to fold their clothes by the age of 7. They'll be okay if they don't do these things. They'll turn out to be fantastic, messed up human beings, just like the rest of us. And that's okay. And that's beautiful. I just wanted to reach out and they'd be there for that mom who felt like she had the burden of perfection on her. And guess what? Those kids are not going to give back to you what you poured into them. They don't. It's not how it works. Like I was working behind the scenes, which often is where we fall into, right? As moms, behind the scenes for our Christmas celebration. I was looking around, everyone else is enjoying, partying, relaxing. I'm like, well, I want to do that. And this silent voice inside of me says, well, why don't you? Why don't you? They're not telling you to be here. They're not saying you have to cook these things. Oh, what if things don't get cooked? And the thought came, well, what if they don't? Someone will eventually say, I'm hungry. Let's go and eat something. And that's what happened. As I sat back and I thought, well, sometimes I want to cook. And the thought came, well, cook then. Sometimes I don't want to cook. Well, don't cook then. But don't blame everyone else around you if that's not happening, because that's not what they want to do. Why impose your expectations of what makes a harmonious experience on everybody and expect them to just magically blend into this experience? So I wanted to go back, because right now as a mom, I'm so much more relaxed. I know my kids are going to say they hate me. I know they're going to say they don't like what I'm doing. I know that no matter how nice I am when I work all night to try to clean up the kitchen and get everything ready so the kids don't have to do as much dinner help that night, they're not going to come and go, oh, Mom, oh my goodness, thanks for doing all this, because now I don't have as much to do tonight. No, they walk in and they fall and say, hey, can we watch a show tonight? Because the kitchen's cleaner, so we can watch a show. And that triggered me last week. And I realized, what am I doing? I'm still expecting them to behave according to a construct that I've invented. This is me creating this, me saying, if I do this, then you should feel grateful. If I'm doing this, then you should do this. Why? There's nothing that says that should be their love language or that should be the way they feel loved. That's me creating that. So anyway, I hope this helps someone. I tend to ramble. I would love to hear your thoughts about your expectations or things that were hard for you as a young mom, or questions you have, or situations where you really struggle to feel seen, or anything you want to share, because I would love to open a discussion and keep this going, because we each matter and we're important, we're unique, and we each have different things that can make us happy. And we need to start looking at the truth behind our constructs, the truth behind our expectations, and free ourselves from those and just the toxic relationships and expectations we have on those around us, because it's hurting us too. So anyway, you're doing awesome, way better than you think you are. God can make a beautiful mosaic out of everything. And I'm learning from my past experiences in such a glorious way that, well, I regret hurt that has been caused to other people. I am embracing what I have learned from it and trying to make the best of it.